Hello my friends, we probably have the winner of the Darwin Award in Russia. This guy is the Russian military blogger and also volunteer. He had quite a popular Telegram channel and he also worked in collaboration with the Russian propaganda media. And just a few hours ago he left this world to afterlife that should be in the hell. And later on I'll show you the fragments of the video stating that he really deserved what he had. And also he seems to be walking towards that destiny. Let's speak about this case. And the name of the guy was Vladlen Tatarsky. Today he got to the meeting with his subscribers. It was in a local cafe of the St. Petersburg city, far away from the Ukrainian border. And suddenly something exploded inside that cafe, leaving our guy totally lost and many people wounded. And there are some pictures and videos from inside, but I cannot show them to you on this YouTube channel. That is why go to the link to check out my Telegram and subscribe for me over there, and I post there something that I cannot post on YouTube. Also, I use it as my alternate source to provide the information for subscribers, and in case something goes wrong with my channel, you may always find me on Telegram. Tatarsky was even invited in Kremlin this summer. Then Russia announced the annexation of Ukrainian territories. He was really happy about the case, and here is his speech. You can read the subtitles.
Все, всех победим, всех убьем, всех, кого надо, ограбим. Все будет, как мы любим. Давайте с Богом.
So you can see that this guy wasn't really intelligent and he talked too much. And there are tons of the other videos that I don't think that I'm capable to show you on YouTube. With his speech, with what he's saying, is just nonsense. This guy really thought that he was immortal. So what people think happened, that he got the statuette as a present on that meeting, and this is quite heavy. I think it weighs more than 200 grams. So what people think happened over there? This guy got the present, the statuette of his, from one of the subscribers. She is a girl, her name, as she said, Nastya. She's, by the way, in the hospital also. And as it was said by police, the bomb should have contained at least 200 grams of explosives. And as we see on the part of the video, that the statuette is really huge and heavy. So eyewitnesses believe that the explosives was inside that statuette, that one of the women brought with her to this meeting. And by the way, there was one security guy who said to that woman to leave the box behind the door because they did afraid. And that woman came to Tatarsky himself and said that she got the present for him personally. And Tatarsky said, okay, bring it to me. So that's why I'm saying that it is the true Darwin Award. Firstly, you organized the meeting where everyone can enter. Just the box was very big and suspicious, but nevertheless, this guy called for it, bring it to me. Well, at least for now we have the information about the case from the eyewitnesses. So after they unboxed the statuette, he left it near to him in the box. And this is the photo from the CCTV camera, a woman with a big box. And Russians start to post this picture of Maria Yarun, saying that she was from Ukraine and she was living for a long time in Russia, but originally she is from the Ivano-Frankovsk, and they say that this woman was on that meeting and she was carrying the box. So for now it's the very hot topic and it's hard to say who is truly responsible for that act. But Russian officials published that this woman was arrested for the suspicious act, so she's now the suspect for the case. And as we know from the information published before, that she's in the hospital right now because she was wounded. And this is the real photo that was taken before. So this is our hero, the Darwin Award winner. And probably you know this girl. Yes, Daria Dugina with a very explosive car. So again, why is it the Darwin Award? Because it was advertised for the wide audience that this particular guy will be at the place. You can see his photo. This event was dedicated to this particular person. There was no strict security. Everyone could come in, and it's very, very bad, even in St. Petersburg. And here they say, please invite as many people as possible. And really it was quite crowded over there, and that is why many of the people got wounded. For this are 25 people. And you may also say, Dennis, but you attended the exhibition in Berlin and you said to everyone about it. Well, I filtered the information and yes, I said about it, but that event got some sort of the filters and it happened in Germany, so I trust it. Not everyone was allowed to enter the place, and yes, I took some precautions. And yes, there are always risks in our lives, and yes, in my current profession as well, but I never say the shit as this guy said to Ukrainian people. I understand that Ukrainians are not fighting against the Russian people. We only fight against those who came to our country with the weaponry and those who support the Russian regime. Russian elite, military, but I'm sure that Ukraine will never do the same stuff as Russia with our territory bombing the civilian infrastructure. And this guy was admiring it. We need to stay humans even with our barbarian enemies, because that is what makes us stronger. And we have the video, more videos from the CCTV camera. So it was that particular girl with the box. The box is really big, and now it's the main version for that act, let's say. But I'm sure that this was conducted by Russians. It's not the first time they got rid from their own supporters, let's say. And we are now at the dark side, let's say. I put Vladlen Tatarsky in a search and we have lots of the Z channels over here, including his. He has 571,000 subscribers on Telegram, which is quite big. And here are his posts, something about the war in Ukraine and something that I cannot really show you on this video. Here he speaks about the Ukrainian warrior who fallen recently. It was just recorded yesterday. He said that it was deserved. Well, I can say now that it is deserved by you, and you personally make it happen with your Darwin Award and really stupid behavior, because if you are in Russia, it doesn't mean that you are safe. So you may just put this Vladlen Tatarsky, subscribe for his channel. He would really love to see you there. But something about this box doesn't really match, because the girl was not really far away from our hero. She sat very close to him. And that's why, as it was reported, she was delivered to hospital. So why am I speaking about this guy? Because he's one of the most important Russian military bloggers, and it's not the first time they're losing them. Sometimes we hear the rhetorics from them that contradicts the official Russian position. For example, about this military operation. They always call it the war. They say that Russian officials are corrupt, the military generals are incompetent, and there is the huge lack of the ammunition on the front lines. But if you watch the Russian media on TV, like official Russian propaganda, they would say that everything goes according to the plan and they're always winning. Here we can see the concentration of the Russian vehicles, but something happened to them. Well, basically it's the Vuhledar direction as we know it, that Russia lost many of the armored vehicles over there. It's just one point, just one field, and there are other fields, and altogether they lost around 130 vehicles over there near to Pavlovka and Vuhledar. And today it's the anniversary of the Kiev region liberation. Just to remind you, 1 year ago Russia decided to commit the goodwill gesture because they hadn't had other chance. Otherwise their forces would have been just demolished, because they occupied the roads and had no opportunity to go elsewhere to the fields or to hide. The Kiev operation was poorly planned by Russia, and they lost elite forces in their attempt to get Kiev under their control. Since that, Russia performed many goodwill gestures, but we remember it as the beginning of Ukrainian victory. We showed the world that we can fight against the Russian aggression and we can liberate our territory. The second army in the world couldn't do anything against the Ukrainian spirit. And everyone saw what Russian peace might bring, just devastation to the normal human life. And here we have the map showing how it was before and how it is right now after 1 year. You can see that we liberated 50% of the previously occupied territory by Russians. And the Kharkiv region operation was the fastest since the Second World War. Alright, it was very funny for me to hear. Well, this is one more Russian military blogger who works in cooperation or collaboration with the Russian propaganda media. And here he reports that Russia cannot take Marinka because Ukrainians took back the farm that Russians took before. And he said that not long time ago Russia wasted 1,480 shells for that particular farm. And also they lost lots of the drones. Finally, they took the farm, but only after infantry advancement, and obviously they had losses. But we have to give it back to Ukrainian side because we cannot cope with their artillery. We're simply out of the counter-artillery systems. And after he says that their artillery, Ukrainian artillery, can push us away from our positions that were taken before. And he said that there is not enough shells for Marinka because just for a single farm they wasted 1,480 shells, as he said before. So he repeats that number, and this number is huge. So he said that they are in lack of the artillery rounds, but it is understandable that their artillery is not precise compared to Ukraine. And definitely they just ruined the Marinka city. There is basically no city, and our guys dig into the ground with the trenches and sit in resistance. And it's not the biggest village that we have, so why they are struggling? Because Ukraine was able to build huge lines of defense. They are very strong and Russia is struggling with them. And let's go to the military map review. For the latest updates, we have the slight enemy progress in Bakhmut. So let's go for it and zoom in. From the information I got, that they took the factory on the north. The factory name is Ozon over here. And finally, yes, partially they took it. The most part, still there are some buildings that belong to the factory. I think those two. So it was yesterday and it is today. They also moved a little bit over here on the south, taking this part of the quartal, if you may call it the quartal. And yes, it's the significant movement on the north. And also we can see that the gray area moved towards the western side of the city. Now I would say that finally Russians might take the Bakhmut city, but they are unable to encircle our army over there. What they do is they continue to push us away from the city that was severely damaged, if not destroyed. I think that nowadays Russia takes care more about their artillery, about their ammunition, and they do not waste it as it was before. But still they're in lack of the precision artillery systems, and we have those in Ukrainian army with the help of our Western allies. So thank you for supporting Ukraine. So I give like 90% that Russians would be able to take the city, or it's better to say Wagner forces would take the city, and I think that it might happen after the start of the Ukrainian counterattack, so it would not be the damage for the morale of the Ukrainian army. I think that is probably the biggest reason why our army still resists in Bakhmut, and also Ukrainian population, as President Zelensky said, might think that Ukrainian army is not that strong and it's time to negotiate with Russia after they take the Bakhmut city, for example, but I don't think so. And the other reason to resist in Bakhmut is that we keep Russian forces away from the Kramatorsk and Slavansk and Drushkivka. It doesn't mean that Russian forces would go there very soon, but they have the trend towards Slavansk, as you can see from this direction, and little by little they are taking some sort of the ground. If you go backwards, for example, for 10 days, you may see that they're moving a little bit towards Slavansk unsuccessfully. Bakhmut is really breaking them. And other ones that there were some of the explosions reported in Belgorod over here, and Russia continued to use the Shahid drones on Ukrainian territory. And I'm gonna post a couple of the videos on my Telegram channel to show you the tools that the Ukrainian army uses against the Shahid drones. So again, my friends, subscribe for my Telegram channel. You may always find me over there. The link is in the video description just below. And now please press the like to this video if you want to support the job. There are always links in the video description below, and you may always support me on Patreon or channel membership. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.